Hello, everyone. This is Professor Jonghyun Cho at the International Graduate School of the Seoul Media Institute of Technology. I am delighted to begin today's lecture. For your information, this lecture is in partnership with the Faculty of Science, Technology, and Architecture, School of Computer Science and Engineering, and the Department of Information Technology at the Manipur University, Jaipur, and the International Graduate School of Seoul Media Institute of Technology. We have recently agreed on the academic exchanges and joint degree programs. This is the very first outcome of our agreement, and we are hopeful that there will be continuous expansion in our collaboration. This event is funded by SMIT's International Graduate School as part of SMIT's International Lecture Series, which is conducted in collaboration with leading global partner universities of SMIT. As we have still a lot of participants joining the room, I am just sharing my greetings, so don't worry, you're not missing any of the lectures yet. So this event has been open to all faculty and students in our partnership universities. I believe members of those universities are still coming in as I'm speaking, but these universities not only include Manipur University Jaipur, but also Dakota State University in the United States, Eurasian National University, Energo University, and the International IT University in Kazakhstan, as well as the Hanoi University of Science and Technology in Vietnam. For today's talk, Dr. Srivastava and Dr. Yadav will have organized to convene the lecture. Dr. Srivastava and Dr. Yadav, if you would share your greetings, please.
Thank you, Professor Cho. Greetings to the team from Seoul Media Institute of Technology and all the international participants who are joining from all over the world, as mentioned by Professor Cho in his briefing of the lecture. So with Manipal Group, this was the first initiative as a joint collaboration between the two teams. And we are delighted to have the lecture coming up from Professor Kim. Thank you, sir, for agreeing for giving up this particular lecture. And just to share is we have a classroom of 180, so almost around about 160 students have already been listening and watching this particular lecture from a bigger lecture hall theater. So probably if you're looking into terms of the participations from Manipal, we have almost 300 students who have been set out in 3 different rooms. From there, they're actually watching the lecture, and they will be mentored by the senior faculty members already being present over there. Uh, for us, it's the very first opportunity to have looking into the landscape and how exactly the things have been populating in cybersecurity in the all over the world, and specifically how our partner institutions actually working on this. Just for the students to share, remember this that we are witnessing this lecture from one of the finest cybersecurity experts in South Korea. And just to share you that uh, during their visit to India and their interactions with us, we have finding out that there is a lot of things that need to be learned in terms of the advanced AI skills in cybersecurity. So with this, without wasting the time, I just request Professor Kim to please continue with the lecture. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, and thank you, Professor Joe. Thank you for everyone. I'm very honored to be here to present regarding the AI landscape for cybersecurity. My name is Dr. Kyounggon Kim, and the topic of today's presentation is AI landscape for cybersecurity. This presentation will take around about 60 minutes, and then we will get some questions from floors. Okay, let me start from.
Sorry, I would like to briefly introduce you to everyone here since I would like to just have everyone know how great of an expert Professor Kim here is. So Dr. Kyounggon Kim here is currently the Practicum mentor of Cybersecurity program at SMIT and also the BOB program at KITRI. Dr. Kim is currently an associate professor and head of the Department of Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics at Naif Arab University for Security Sciences, where he is also the founding member of the Center of Excellence in Cybercrime and Digital Forensics. Over his 15-plus year career, he has conducted penetration testing for more than 130 clients across various industries, including finance, energy, and consumer sectors, while working at Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and boutique consulting firms. He has published numerous high-impact research papers in Q1 ranked journals with over 1,000 citations. So that's all the introductions from my end, and now we'll formally begin the lecture from Professor Kim, if you please.
Thank you, Prof. Joe, again. So thank you for introducing myself. I will present some important topic regarding the cybersecurity and AI. Briefly, I have so many different careers. First, 25 years ago, I was working as the white hat hackers starting 2000s. So I was working the former president of the underground hacking group, Look, the bottom line. And then I participated in the DEFCON, the CTF in 2007. So during the 7 years, very focused on the ethical hacking. Then I joined the consulting firm since 2003. Then during the 17 years, I was working the cybersecurity consultant and SK Posek and Peters and Deloitte. Then 9 years ago, I moved to the academia areas and the Korean University as the Industry University Cooperation Professor. And also I was invited as speaker in Interpol, UNODC, and European Union Cyber Terrorism Program. Currently, I was working the research professor and procurement and Seoul Media Institute of Technology since this year. I was also working associate professor and head of Department of Cybersecurity and Data Forensic and Naipan University of Security Science. Okay, let's start the main lecture. Today's lecture consists of 5 topics. First, the foundation of cybersecurity in the AI era, because the AI era is very important in nowadays. And also, we need to understand the main domain. So one of the main domains is the cybersecurity. So first sector, I will explain the foundation of collaboration, cybersecurity, and AI. A second topic, I will explain core AI technology for cybersecurity. There are so many technologies in using the AI domains, but we will talk about the more important AI technologies focused on cybersecurity areas. A third part, we discuss about the applications and case study. What AI technology can be used in cybersecurity domains, such as the malware detection or financial fraud detection. Then, actually, even though AI can provide a very good benefit for cybersecurity, but there still remain the challenges and limitations. And finally, so as this participation is from student and the professor in the academic areas, so we'll discuss the future directions and opportunities. This is the main agenda I will today discuss with you. Okay, first, foundations of cybersecurity in the AI era. So every country, every world mentioned the AI. AI financial, AI manufacturer, AI political. However, today we are more focused on the cybersecurity areas. So there are subsections in the 7th. First, the evolution of cybersecurity. Second, why traditional methods fell short. And then why AI is to become essential in modern threat landscape. Then the rise of the AI in cybersecurity, their reactive and versus proactive security. Then key benefits of AI in security. The last subtopic is example scenarios where AI helps. Okay, most of the participants know about the very traditional cybersecurity solution, such as the firewall, IDS, antivirus. Because since IT and internet evolved 30 years ago, when I working at the ethical hackers 25 years ago, there's no security solution such as the high level security solution. Even though many companies, they didn't implement the firewall. So that's why so many the hackers can penetration their target system. However, the 1995, around that day, the companies bought the firewall solution. The firewall is very simple concept. So from external hackers want to get very crucial information in the target network, such as critical information or personal information will locate in the database inside of the network. They are very easily to access to the network by photo scanning or any virus or worm attack to network. However, after the implemented firewall, as you know, block the suspicious port or suspicious IP address. So that's why they are only the 80 port. Such a web port can be opened through the network. Except 80 or 443, you call it HTTPS. Only open from external access. But the SSH or Telnet, other attacks blocked by firewall. So the left below image, this is the code-ready to worm. As you can see, the get default IDA. This is HTTP request. This pattern can be bypassed by the firewall because firewall just open the HTTPS. Once this the malicious pattern, the access to the internal network after firewall, but the target network can be infected by the code-red worm. So around the 2000s, the American and Chinese, there are some underground hacking the war. They developed many cyber missile, such coded 1 and 2. In that time, there's not many companies to implement the IDS. IDS is intrusion detection system. The IDS is the detect based on the pattern. As you can see, the left on the image, you can see default the IDA and so many spelling X. And then there is some Unicode encoding. %U 1919, %U 6858. This is exact pattern of the coded 2. Then IDS very easily to detect based on the pattern. So that's why the attackers also can be changed the pattern to bypass IDS. The last stage, endpoint, usually the user, the endpoint, the PC, they can also infect by the virus. But that's why they need to install antivirus solution. Antivirus solution is to detect and delete suspicious virus and worm. So these three combination security solution, firewall is first parameter areas, then IDS, internet detection system, it detect the network attack, and the last edge is the antivirus to defend the user PC. This is very fundamental security solution. So many years, this is combination of solution can be effectively detected. However, as you know, the cybersecurity threats very, very evolved nowadays. Not only just individual hackers, but also advanced persistent threat, APT group. APT group is the very the high level of scale attack. They do not attack just one time or just 1 week. They did attack for more than 1 year or more than 3 years, just one target network. So that's why there's no one company defend the 100%. Most of the company can be attacked. And also another very risk is zero-day attack. Zero-day attack means that there's no patching. It means that the company couldn't patch their system because hackers, the malicious hackers, found the bug vulnerabilities. However, they didn't inform this bug to the vendor. It means the hackers know the exploit and the code, but defender side, the company didn't know about any information. So it's very easy to attack through the network by the external hackers. So also attack volume, as you know, distributed denial of service, DDoS, and through the APT, very complicated attack. That's why the traditional security solution I mentioned before, fireware, IDS, anti solution cannot defend this kind of the very sophisticated attack. This is something the arms race between hackers and system defense. So also the hacktivist, the also very high the cyber threat actors in the network areas. Okay, that's why so this is one of my research paper, advanced persistent threat. As you know, many companies receive cyber attack from the big cyber threat. Some cyber threat actors is to receive the funding from government. For example, the China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. There's so many APT groups sponsored by the government. So APT1 and the SOFAS and the Group 74, Fancy Bear. Fancy Bear is very famous the cyber attackers group, sponsored by the Russia hackers group, Russia government. They usually attack to the East Europe areas or some the America. And also, as you know, we are the South Korea. South Korea also receives many massive attacks from North Korea. The largest group and the Boost 121 and the Dark Hotel. So this attacks big change from the individual, just curious to individual hackers. So that's why the company and organizations need to defend the very sophisticated attack. However, traditional cybersecurity solution cannot defend this kind of attack. So this is one of the example I published my paper. This is attack techniques of virus cyber attack. Yes. Do you have any question from the panel?
I request to continue, please.
Okay. So there are so many the attack steps. As you know, the initial step. So first the layer, you get POLIX and Duke 2.0 and WannaCry and the GAN grab. This is the fireless cyber attack. Fireless attack means that there's no very tangible file, such as exe file. It means that antivirus solution cannot detect it for this kind of attack. They attack by the memory or they attack through the registry. So through the initial attack and execution and persistence and privilege escalation and defense evasion, the hidden file or modified registration or packing, obfuscation, and then the credential access. Most of them target the personal information or critical information or confidential information inside of their target network. So then they can credential dumping, brute force attack, credential in the file, and then they discovery and lateral movement to access more internal network and collection. And they install command and control server, and then they keep going to receive the information from the target network. Even though they access the network and then stay 1 and 2 years to get the information from the target network. And the explanation and impact. So as you know, there's many the fireless cyber attack or APT group are involved. So that's why AI is very necessary to defend this kind of the attack. So in this slide, I will explain why the rise of the AI in cybersecurity. As I mentioned before, there are big changes from traditional cyber attack to nowadays. They are using very sophisticated attack and very massive attack. So that's why they need to real-time detection and proactive defense. That's because kind of the large and dynamic environment. So here, the right figure, you can see this is the blue icon and the green icons. So green bar is the traditional defense time. And you can see most of the green color is around the 10 seconds. However, if you use the AI technology, this is dramatically reduce the defense and detection time. Average of defense or detection is 5 seconds. This is dramatically reduce the detection time. So that's why many companies are implementing the AI technology to detect and defend their network from the cyber threat actors. So here, there are two major concepts, reactive versus proactive security. The reactive is traditional security solution, such as the IDS and detection based on the signature. They already got some database which consists of many of the patterns. It means the attackers using their pattern, they can be detected. This is a reactive concept. The reactive is the response after attack, also signature-based detection. And very important concept, the known threat only. Even though the attackers change the pattern or obfuscation, packing, and change the pattern, the reactive method couldn't detect this kind of the attack. Also static rules and difficult to adopt. However, if the company are using the AI technology, they can detect based on the behavior plus predictive detection. This concept prevents attack and behavior-based analysis. Not only pattern, but also there are some the behavior. And also, they can do very important things, the unknown threat too. Unknown threat is very important to defend. As I mentioned, zero-day attack, there's no way to defend or detect by traditional solution because there's no patch information. However, if they use the AI technology, they can maybe detect for the unknown threat. So they use an AI and machine learning based and continuously evolved. This is very quickly about the AI technology. We will explain in the letter in detail. And key benefit of AI in security areas. First, speed and pattern recognition and automation. And in this picture, you can see 6 benefits from the AI technologies. First, ongoing learning. They have so many data set. Data set is very global open. You can get so many data set of network attack or DDoS attack or malware attack. The AI machine learning can learn from this data set very ongoing. And based on the learning, they can discover unknown threat. This is a very key benefit of the AI technology. And then also they can handle the vast data volume. Also, they improved the vulnerabilities measurement. So this can be provided very good benefit for security manager to observe and manage their network, whether their system is hacked or not. Another benefit is enhanced overall security posture, and then better detection and response. This is one of the very good benefit from the AI technologies. A quick example of the scenarios where AI used. There are 5 major scenarios we can adopt the AI technology in the cybersecurity areas. First is the intrusion detection, and second, enhanced protection, and malware detection and attack prevention, and anomaly detection. As you can see, this is the paper. The Ishihad Jada published the paper in 2024, last year. So here are summary of the result, positive impact of AI on cybersecurity. Many researchers did this research into detection, almost 16 papers, articles. I know more than papers, the research and into detection using AI technology, and also enhanced protection and malware detection, attack prevention. Okay, let's move to the second topic and core AI technology for cybersecurity. At first part, we understand that AI is very essential, very important for enhancing the cybersecurity areas. And then what technology we can use to the AI in cybersecurity. In this section, I will explain 6 important concepts, overall AI technologies, and machine learning based and machine algorithms, and deep learning in cybersecurity, and natural language processing applications, and generative AI and dual nature, the positive and negative perspective. Even though we can use so many AI technologies, but there are still limitations of AI models. Okay, first, maybe most of you maybe understand or hear about so many different machine learning and deep learning algorithms. In here, I will explain the major four things. The very fundamental and the basic concept in AI, the machine learning, we call it just ML, and deep learning, NDL, and natural language processing, NLP, and generative AI, Gen AI. Each of these technologies used differently the purpose for the cybersecurity. I will explain one by one in detail. In here, this is the big picture of the big concept of AI technology. So artificial intelligence is the big five, the whole cover in the whole areas. And inside the artificial intelligence, they are the machine learning. Machine learning inside the artificial intelligence. The machine can learn some pattern and then some behavior, and then machine can detect the cybersecurity areas. Most machine learning algorithms are based on mathematical and statistical information, so we can easily understand what happened in the machine learning. However, another more deep level inside the machine learning is the deep learning, NDL. Deep learning is very amazing the result. So maybe 15 years ago, the machine learning evolved in the cybersecurity areas. They are very shocking in cybersecurity. They can detect very well. However, someday another professors found another way, the deep learning. So there are so many competitions. How can detect the cybersecurity information? But deep learning, some researchers using the deep learning is a very high percentage of detection rather than machine learning. So nowadays, many researchers are using the deep learning to defend and detect the cybersecurity, but there are some limitations. Anyway, the deep learning is more the narrow concept than machine learning. But deep learning is based on our neural network. This is very, very difficult to understand the internal mechanism. However, machine learning is very easy to understand the internal mechanism. So then, another important concept in cybersecurity is natural language processing, NLP. This is a very important concept in the AI concept. And maybe most of you used the ChatGPT and many the LLM based the technology. The LLM is the mixed concept, the deep learning and NLP. And the converged AI also inside the deep learning and natural language processing. So this is a big concept of many cybersecurity technologies used in the AI model. Okay, let me explain the one by one about these technologies. Machine learning based, there are two major methodology: supervised machine learning and unsupervised. Supervised is very easy to understand, labeling attack. In the right, the above figure is I published my paper here. You can see ransomware families. Here, there's benign means the normal software. But left 5 is the ransomware family. Dark side, bad rabbit, KITRI, Rabbit. These are the ransomware family. We labeling the pattern for this sample, and then we found another software that call it benign. This is the training. We train this data set. This is labeling, and then we will get some additional attack. This is not labeling. Then we can classification. This new attack is the labeled or not. Another method is the machine learning is the unsupervised. This is the clustering unknown. So output from supervised learning, we can that this is the bad rabbit, or these are the lockers. This is the KITRI lockers. But unsupervised machine learning, we cannot define the very specific families. As you can below image, this is clustering, classification, and based on the unsupervised machine learning, we can clustering the kind of the cyber attacks. So and semi-supervised is mixed. The getting information from labeling data set or some data set is the orange-white data set and mixed it. And this is very simple concept. You need to get the data. Data is very important to do AI machine learning and deep learning. We adopt the model. Models are many different models. And training, then we can then evaluate the model. This is also very important. So we design the model, and this model is the good performance or the low performance based on computation metrics. There's many techniques to evaluate our model. This is a very simple concept to use the machine learning and cybersecurity areas. And this is a Wang Ji published the papers 5 years ago of the machine learning algorithms. So there are 4 concepts, but last one, deep learning is something different concept. Here 3 are very basic. The function used by the machine learning algorithm: classification, and regression, and clustering. So in classification purpose, there are so many the machine learning algorithm: KNN, SVM, ratio bias, decision tree, and random forest. And also clustering, they can k-medians, expectation, maximization, hierarchical, and SOMB. So this is the detailed machine learning algorithms. Each machine learning algorithm, they have very specific function to adopt some purpose. So nowadays, many security researchers doing the deep learning in cybersecurity. Deep learning is very complication. The machine learning is very easy to understand it normally, but deep learning is very complicated in the concept, because the fundamental of deep learning is based on our neural network. So human being, they didn't understand our human brain concept. So, but deep learning is also similar concept from our human brain, the human neural network concept. So they are 2 important, very basic, the deep learning algorithms. The continuous neural network, we call CNN, for model image detection. A second is the recursive neural network for log execution. In cybersecurity, there are, as you know, the one very major threat is the model. Model is very famous attack tools by attackers. They made the model, and then they send the model to the victim network, or victim phishing, using the phishing attack or search engine attack. So network or also user PC can be infected by the model. The model is usually by the opcode or the binary program. So there's so many models detection techniques researched by the researchers. So in the CNN, it's very, very powerful algorithms to detect using the image. This is very important concept. The CNN is very strong algorithm for image using the image. So the researcher can convert the model to image concept, and then they get information from the image, the feature maps. And then they use the neural network technology. Then they can classification of this model. This is the model, the ransomware or keystroker or the DDoS attack or anything. They can do classification based on this neural network. So CNN is very strong algorithm for using the image. However, as you know, there are so many network attack, DDoS attack or some MITM attack. Many cyber attack can be done by network attack. So in network there are some timeline, and the firewall, IDS, the SIEM solution, they can get the information from the log. So log contains the time. It means the sequential attack. The sequential attacks can be very useful to find some the lateral mode detection or APT group detection. So here, the recursive neural network is very strong concept for log sequential. So on other hand, it's very deep learning model designed to process sequential data by retaining information from previous step, understand the context or time. Okay, so not only the CNN, RNN, but also so many another algorithm can be used: DNN, autoencoder, GNN, transformer. I'd like to emphasize the two more things about GNN and transformer, because these two modules very widely used in the cybersecurity areas. So GNN means the graph neural network. This is the learn from graph structure data, node and edge. As you know, most of cyber attack can be connection to dark web network and cryptocurrency recently. The dark web, there are so many players in the dark web. The drug and the hacking tool seller, and they have some entity, the seller information or dark web market, the areas. So in here, dark web criminal network analysis is very, very useful using the GAN network, GNN algorithm. Another is the transformer. Transformer is very strong algorithm for detect the capture long-range dependence via attention mechanisms. It can be very useful for phishing, email detection, and threat intelligence analysis. As you know, threat intelligence is very widely used in the cybersecurity areas. As you mentioned before, the proactive is very important. So cyber threat intelligence is one very important concept in cybersecurity. So threat intelligence and dark web intelligence is very, very important in these areas. And that's why the GNN and transformer can be used for detection these two areas. Okay, next to the algorithm, the NLP application. This is the natural language processing. So text classification for threat intelligence and entity extraction from log. Most important for using NLP is the phishing detection in email contact. So the concept or perspective of the cyber attackers, they can do two major technologies to attack the target network. First, they can do web attack, because I mentioned before, most modern network solution is to defend the suspicious attack by the firewall. Firewall block all the unnecessary access, but they always open the HTTP. It means they have to open the web traffic. So that's why the attackers can do attacks through the web attack. This is one of the major attack surface from attackers. But through the web attack, it's very easy to detect by security solution. The IDS, IPS, and WAF, and so network detection system. So it's not easy to attack to the target network. But another second method the attackers do is very, very easy to infection for the network. This is the social network phishing attack. So phishing attack is very strong method to infect the target network, because most of the employee in the company, they didn't know about the cybersecurity. So they can very easily to infect by the external hackers through the social engineer attack or phishing attack. For example, this the image you can see, dear users, your account has been locked for suspicious activity. Please verify your credentials immediately to restore access. Click here to join, login, IT support. Maybe most of the employees who didn't know the cybersecurity awareness, maybe they can click the link here, and then they can put their credential, ID, and password. This is very easy to extract the user credential from attackers. So in here, so cybersecurity specialists have to block this suspicious email. They didn't reach it to the target network, target employee. How can we identify, detect this is the suspicious email or not? So one very important techniques is the NLP, natural language processing. And right images the process, natural language processing, and then they extract the token based on the text for user, locked, or credential, and then they processing, and then they get the feature extraction, then analysis. Based on this machine learning, they detect it. They can detect, oh, this is suspicious, the phishing, or that this is normal, then they can block this suspicious phishing, didn't reach it to the endpoint user. So phishing detection is very important, and the NLP is very strong algorithm to use the phishing detection. And generative AI, this is the two side of the angle, the attacker side and the defense side. So as you know, in South Korea, we are receiving so many phishing email from North Korea, the Western country. But as you know, in South Korea, language is very special. We can very easily detect this is written by the human, or this is written by the others nationality for another country. We are very easy to detect this is something suspicious, not very naturally. However, recently we cannot identify this is written by the human or others, because as you can see, using the RMM generated phishing, very strong, very powerful tools to make a phishing pattern, phishing email. So nowadays we cannot detect this kind of attack. So attackers can leverage this RMM generated phishing attack and fake content. This is very bad use of the generative AI. But we can also defend the perspective, report auto generation or AI assisted analysis. But this is a big change of the new chapter from the previous defense and the new era. New era of AI, we must understand the generative AI. How can you use the defense? How can you use the attackers? So, but there's still the limitation of the AI models. There are four limitations I'd like to explain. The first, data limitation. As I mentioned before, the use the AI, they need the data. Data is very important, very core areas. If you do not get enough data, we cannot detect very effectively. Even though one very serious issue is the bias. Bias means that attacker can insert some suspicious data or some unnecessary data. It means data is the poisoning. So poison data is calculated and used by the machine learning algorithm. They can do the low quality of the prediction or detection. So data is very crucial and very limitation of the issues, the bias or quality or quantity, and privacy issue as well. And second, technical issue, generalization and black box. Black box is one of very important things, technical issue. As I mentioned before, machine learning is not difficult to understand. However, the deep learning, most of recently they use the deep learning algorithm, but deep learning is very difficult to understand because this black box concept. We cannot understand the inside of the deep learning model. We just know the input and output. So we have to understand the internal concept, but most of deep learning is very unclear. So this is some technical limitation. And then resource demand. So nowadays, recently, many countries they will suffer from buying the GPU resource. They tried the GPU buying is very big change for many companies. So this resource demand is very technical concept. So and also vulnerabilities. Attackers are very clever. They can do using the attack to the machine learning and deep learning model. This is one of the challenging vulnerabilities for depending our model. And social limitation, job displacement, and trust and regulation. This is something the human nation, the researchers, the research in these social areas. And third topic, let me say some applications and case study using the AI and machine learning, deep learning in cybersecurity areas. There are 6 important things: malware detection and phishing website, and network anomaly detection, and inside threat detection, and AI in SIM and SOAR, and threat intelligence platform. Lastly, I will explain case study. Okay, first, malware detection with AI technology. In malware, usually consists of the two perspectives, static and dynamic. And static means that we do not execute the malware. We just open malware by reverse engineering tool and extract some code structure. And another perspective is the dynamic. This we can do execute the malware in a safe environment, such as VMware or VirtualBox environment. Then we can get the API call sequence. These two are very important concepts in the static and dynamic analysis. So many machine learning and deep learning algorithms are using these techniques to defend and detect this kind of malware detection. So malware detection AI is very high performance. This is one very strong concept to use the AI technologies to defend the malware areas. And second is the phishing, webmail, and email. So phishing is also very strong, the attack by the attackers. But we can use the detect and the defense using the AI machine learning. So here, I will spend 3 examples, the papers, the advanced phishing email detection, a comprehensive study of deep learning model. And they do 1D CNMPD combined with the STM by STM, GRU by GRU concept, and explanation transformer based model for phishing email detection, a large language model approach, and chat spam detection, leveraging large language model for effective phishing email detection. And you can this all the papers published last year. It means that they can do using LLM, large language model, Gen AI, and they show very high percent of accuracy. Another concept is the statistical outlier detection using the network analysis detection. So this is time serial model for traffic pattern. And this is one very important concept to use the AI machine learning and deep learning in the cybersecurity areas and network analysis detection areas. As you can see there I gave 3 the papers related to these areas. The deep learning for network analysis detection under data containment, and deep learning based analysis detection and log analysis for com network, and machine learning based network analysis detection, design, implementation, and evaluation. Both of the approaches here unsupervised deep learning and enhanced autoencoder. And fusion, isolated forest and GAN plus transformer. All concepts we explained before, and also the random forest clustering and sharp model. So these models are used for detect the network anomalous attack. The third one is the insider threat detection, and this is behavioral monitoring. So they get information in the normal behavior in the daytime. The normal employees are using the access the network, access to their system. This information can be collected by the machine learning model. Then they learning in the normal traffic. But some days there's some big peak network or some suspicious behavior happen during the daytime or nighttime or weekend. Then they can detect in this behavior the access here. According to the case study by Super AGI, the implementation of behavioral AI for CRM security resulted in 19% reduction in false positive, and 50% reduction in the time spent investigating potential security threat, and 25% reduction in the number of security incidents. And this is dramatically the effectiveness of using the AI machine learning for insider threat detection. And recently, the AI is using for the SIEM and SOA. The AI seems the anomaly detection with the machine learning deep learning. Maybe if you're working in the cybersecurity or IT security areas, maybe after graduation from university, you work in the company, and most of cybersecurity company are they're using the SIEM or SOA, the advanced security defense system. But both of them are using the AI concept to detect very effectively to the outside the attackers. So here, anomaly detection with the machine learning deep learning and identify abnormal behavior, and noise reduction. The priority important alert. So every day they can receive alert more than 10,000 the necessary alert from the SOC system. Also, the threat intelligence enrichment in collecting log with threat intelligence. And AI in Seoul, automated instant response and playbook optimization and natural language processing. These are very important using for AI machine learning, it's NLP and SOA network. This is the example of the image, the threat intelligence platform. This is Google Cloud. They can provide this dashboard for defense side. If you can see the image here, they are here inside from Gemini. Gemini is developed by the Google, the AI chatbot. They can analyze the information based on the very high volume of the cyber threat intelligence and IOC information, and then they analyze in their side. And for example, the kind of attack is something like the NATO, the target NATO, and cyber capabilities, something like that. So now this NLP is combined to the cyber threat intelligence. So last one is the application and the AI in the financial areas. Detection card fraud via transaction patterns. In here, the Mastercard recently is the first of its kind of AI technologies to help bank protect more consumer from scam in real time. So fraud detection is very important areas of financial areas. They can defend and detect using the AI machine learning concept. So application of the case study in machine learning is very, very widely in use in most of the industry, especially in the manufacturer, financial area, also defense areas. Okay, the fourth domain, the section 4 is changes and limitation. Even though we can see there are so many big benefit, high benefit for using the machine learning algorithm and deep learning algorithm, however, there are still so many challenging situation and limitation. First, false positive and alert fatigue. So even though we use the AI machine learning, we can reduce the false positive alert message compared to the human detection or just traditional detection. However, that still generate the high false positive. This is the challenging situation in AI machine learning algorithms. Also, AI must learn normal behavior accuracy. This is the AI challenge one of example. Second is the data quality and bias. The garbage in, garbage out. This is a very important concept. So if you using the data set which is contain some of the very trashy or garbage data, your model can be generated the garbage data, garbage output. So more the important is to make some the clean data and trust data. This is very important. That's why we are using the Kaggle or so many trusted data resource to do machine learning. So nowadays so many the GitHub provides some data set, but be careful, some GitHub is using the malicious data. So we need to very clear and understand the which data is very important, very clear, and no garbage. And model can be biased from skewed training data. This is the second challenging situation for machine learning. And third one, adversary machine learning. So this is the dangerous situation for defender. But another perspective for attackers. Attackers very useful using for adversary machine learning. For example, there are so many models, but attackers put some suspicious pattern and the change in threat modification in the model pattern. Then classifier that can define this is the benign. Even though this is real is the model, but the model can detect this is the benign based on the adversarial machine learning attack. So another concept is the privacy concern and regulations. And using the big data or data set, sometimes this data can be contained the user content, ID, password, the personal information. So we need to the data anonymization. This is very also important. Especially the European network, they are very strong regulation, the GDPR. So if the company use the personal information of the customer, they will get a very high the number of fine. So this is the risk of the operation of the business if they don't understand the data anonymization. Also, some countries using the risk of the surveillance misuse. There's many the CCTV camera that can be used the machine learning, but some countries very strict policy for using the this kind of the data. And this challenge is the why did this model block this? Security analysts need to understand why an AI system block certain traffic or file. So based on the pattern, based on the signature, you are very easy to understand. This is detected by the pattern. This is not detected by pattern. But however, we found this block by the deep learning model. So we don't know how can it block this attack. As you mentioned before, the deep learning is black box. We don't understand the inside of the algorithm, the deep learning. So that's why recently, another algorithm is to develop to explanation AI. This is the sharp additive explanation, or RAIM is the local interpretation model acoustic explanation. So this is recent algorithm to explain the inside of the machine learning or deep learning algorithm. And the last page of the chapter 4 is the balancing AI automation and human oversight is very important. You should not involve the rely on AI, but we have to leverage AI. But we have to also using the human oversight, human in the loop, and critical decision require the human review. This is very crucial concept to combine the machine learning, deep learning, and human perspective. Okay, last section. What's the future direction and opportunity? Because this is the most of the participant of this section is from the university and student, they need to understand some additional concept. First, industry, they are using the XDR or AI sub pipeline. So data collection is very first stage, and then threat detection and model optimization. This is the pipeline. However, human in the loop is very important. The data processing, correlation, and alert response, human need to involve and then judgment and minimization risk and errors. This is very important. So the people, student and professor need to understand the importance of the involvement of the human in these cybersecurity areas, not just the rely on the AI machine learning and deep learning model. And also, recently their research trend is the explanation of AI and the federation learning and edge AI. Edge is the many companies are using the edge concept. They do not contain the critical information to the end of the user PC. They're using the cloud system. It means the end user PC is just the blanket, but this is edge environment. In this situation, the AI is using the cloud data. So cloud information is very important to use the AI machine learning concept. And also the new industry, India also very big the economic country. So there's many big countries in the Indian society. So IoT or smart city is very big the areas around the world, especially India area as well. So artificial intelligence in the smart city is very important. We need to set IoT device and the data cloud and autonomous vehicle or the smart building. So this is a very crucial domain to understand the AI machine learning to apply in the future areas. And what need to study in the smart city or AI era in the cybersecurity areas? So here, AI security research is very important, and threat intelligence analysis is very important, and security automation engineer, and AI cybersecurity policy advisor. So not only 4 domain, but also many areas can be used by the AI era. But these four are very important, the future job using the AI domains. So if you are using very strong analytics in the threat intelligence, you need to combine your knowledge, your experience in the threat intelligence areas. Also, if you are very interested in policy, you can do the AI ethics, AI policy advisor can be do very important areas. But what skill we need to adapt for these areas? First, so most of the machine learning deep learning using the Python algorithm. So I strongly recommend you to start the basic Python the language, and then listen to technology. SIM, SOAR, this is very important technology. And then the basic of the machine learning deep learning algorithm. As you know, every day the new researchers find a new algorithm, but you have to find and tracking the machine learning deep learning algorithm. As I mentioned before, each algorithm is different purpose for the different target. So if you know the right model to adopt the right way, you can find the more strong than others, the specialist. So this is very important. Basically learn the knowledge of the language and domain, and then the machine learning, deep learning algorithms. This is necessary skills for you. Last part of the page. So upscale is very important roadmap for learners. Start the Python, and then the machine learning, deep learning algorithms, and then Cybersecurity domain. So domain is very important. If you are working the technology areas, you need to know about the technical concept. But if you are very interested in the manufacture or financial or consumer service, you need to understand the domain areas. The domain knowledge is very crucial because many people learn just AI concept, but combine the AI concept and the domain knowledge is very important and make you very strong competence in the next areas of the cybersecurity. And this is very important to collaboration for the SMIT, the American University. The communication is very important. So also, if you are doing the very strong AI cybersecurity specialist or academic, you need to building a portfolio in AI security. For example, Kaggle competitions, open source tools, you can make the published write-up or GitHub present. In the final conclusion, so future is that we couldn't the competition the AI. We couldn't ignore the AI. We need to be the friend of AI, but we have to keep our core knowledge, core experience. So in the future, we need to combination in human and AI collaboration very important in our next areas. This is the key concept to collaboration in human and AI. Okay, thank you for the listening for a long time of my lecture. So this is the QR code. If you scan the QR code in your mobile phone, you can see some slide question. If you have some question, you can write the question. I can see your question, and then I will answer for your question.